Hello viewers, lecture number 3 on section 3 onwards. In this lecture I will tell you about section 3, 4 onwards, which deal with communication of proposal, acceptance and revocation of both. I will first read section 3 and then try to explain. Section 3 of the Act says, the communication of proposals, the acceptance of proposals, and the revocation of proposals and acceptance, respectively, are deemed to be made by any act or omission of the party proposing, accepting or revoking, by which he intends to communicate such proposal, acceptance or revocation, or which has the effect of communicating it. Full stop. I just request you to recall section 2A and 2B, which incorporate the word signify. Signify his willingness in section 2A, and in section 2B signify his assent thereto. What is this signification? It is nothing but the communication. And how communication can be effected is stated in section 3. No particular mode is prescribed. Let us be very clear. Two known general mode of recognition are accepted: act or omission. And even conduct is also permitted. The last part, that which has the effect of communicating it. Everything depends on the intention. If there is intention to communicate, it could be even by signaled words, by specification, by conduct, any mode which suits the communicator. But it must have the effect of communicating. Communication is must. And by communication, what we understand is it must be brought to the notice of the other. That is sum and substance of the word communication. Now, section 4 says about when communication is complete. Section 4 begins with, I would first read the section. The communication of a proposal is complete when it comes to the knowledge of the person to whom it is made. Next, the communication of an acceptance is complete 1. As against the proposer, when it is put in a course of transmission to him, so as to be out of the power of the acceptor. And 2. As against the acceptor, when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Pausing here for a moment. The first part says about single communication. The proposal to the person to whom it is made. And the moment it comes to his knowledge, it is communicated. No more difficulty. Some difficulty starts for acceptance. When do we take acceptance as communicated? And law categorizes this wise, that as against the proposer and as against the acceptor. As against the proposer, it is complete when the acceptor puts it in the course of transmission so as to be out of his power. Taking here for an illustration, if I post you a letter that I want to sell my mobile for 1000 rupees, the moment letter reaches you, communication of proposal is complete. You accept it and put a letter of acceptance in the letter box. According to the section, the moment you put letter in the drop box, acceptance, communication of it is complete as against me, the proposer. And as against you, when it is complete, when it reaches me, when it reaches the proposer, when it comes to the knowledge of the proposer. Now, pausing here for a moment again, I would request you to bear this in mind very carefully, for the obvious reason that section 5 says that when you can revoke proposal and acceptance. Section 4 is important for that purpose. Proposal can be revoked only till period it is communication is complete as against the proposer, the first part. And acceptance can be revoked till it reaches to the proposer, the second part. And that is what section 5 says. So this mechanism you must remember and understand very clearly, that communication of acceptance as against proposer and as against acceptor, it is the basis or it is the time till which it can be revoked and not thereafter. The next point is the communication of a revocation is complete. 1. As against the person who makes it, comma, when it is put into a course of transmission to the person to whom it is made, so as to be out of the power of the person who makes it. And as against the person to whom it is made, when it comes to his knowledge. Almost same principle. Who makes revocation? Whoever wants to revoke, the moment he puts revocation into course of transmission, communication is complete against that. As against the person to whom it is made, when it comes to his knowledge, when it reaches the person to whom the revocation is communicated. Thus, communication of proposal, acceptance and revocation. And section 5 says when it can be revoked. A proposal may be revoked at any time before the communication of its acceptance is complete as against the proposer, but not afterwards. An acceptance may be revoked at any time before the communication of acceptance is complete as against the acceptor, but not afterwards. Section 4 and 5 therefore go together in case of revocation. How revocation is complete and the time till which there could be revocation. Next, my friends, section 6 says that proposal also can be revoked under different circumstances. Section 6 says a proposal is revoked once by the communication of notice of revocation by the proposer to the other party. So simply by giving notice, one can revoke it. 2. By the lapse of the time prescribed in such proposal for its acceptance, or if no time is so prescribed, by a lapse of a reasonable time without communication of the acceptance. This part again is very simple. If the proposal prescribes time of acceptance, in a letter I say that you should communicate your acceptance within 2 days or 3 days. Time is prescribed. If you don't communicate within 2 or 3 days, obviously the offer lapses because of time. If no time is prescribed, again reasonable time. And reasonable time would depend on the facts and circumstances. In fact, I would say that reasonable word is very crucial in law. It is nowhere defined. It all depends on the facts and circumstances and ultimately the prudence of the judge who decides the case. Therefore, the word reasonable, prudent are very vague, and ultimately you have to depend on the wisdom of the judge. If no time is prescribed and acceptance is not made within reasonable time, obviously the proposal would lapse. The third circumstance is by the failure of the acceptor to fulfill a condition precedent to acceptance. Further, this situation can be explained that in the same letter I write to you that if you want to purchase my mobile, communicate within 2 days and send me 100 rupees deposit. You may communicate, but don't send deposit of 100 rupees. This is a failure of complying condition precedent. And the proposal is revoked. And the last one is, fourth one, by the death or insanity of the proposer, comma, if the fact of his death or insanity comes to the knowledge of the acceptor before acceptance. Mind well. Again here section 4 is relevant when acceptance is complete. Till then, if it comes to his knowledge, proposal is revoked. If not, acceptance is valid. So under these four circumstances, proposal can be or is revoked rather. Next, I would talk of section 7, which speaks of acceptance. Section 7 says, in order to convert a proposal into a promise, go back to section 2, the acceptance must 1. Be absolute and unqualified. Pausing here for a moment, go back to again section 2A and B, which say assent to such act or abstinence, and to be assent thereto. I have told you without variation. The same thing is found here. Acceptance must be absolute and unconditional or unqualified. And 2. Be expressed in some usual and reasonable manner, comma, unless the proposal prescribes the manner in which it is to be accepted. The same thing which we have discussed. If the proposal prescribes a manner in which it is to be accepted, and the acceptance is not made in such manner, now a different situation. The proposer may, within a reasonable time, after the acceptance is communicated to him, insist that his proposal shall be accepted in the prescribed manner and not otherwise. But if he fails to do so, he accepts the acceptance. Full stop. It's nothing but what happens if you do not follow the instructions of proposal. If that is the situation, the proposer can inform you to comply with the situation, and if he fails to do so, law presumes that he accepts the acceptance. Nothing beyond that. Similar is the situation in section 8, which says as under. Performance of the conditions of a proposal, comma, of the acceptance of any consideration for a reciprocal promise which may be offered with a proposal, comma, is an acceptance of the proposal. There may be situation where instead of complying with procedural formalities, in substance, one has complied with. In the same example which I have given you earlier, instead of posting a consent letter, you straightway send 1,000 rupees. And yes, it is acceptance. In law, it would amount to, if it is accepted, is over. That is what section 8 says. And lastly, section 9, which says, Insofar as the proposal or acceptance of any promise is made in words, comma, the promise is said to be express. Insofar as such proposal or acceptance is made otherwise than in words, the promise is said to be implied. This section says nothing but the biggest proposition that the contract could be express or implied. Express contract means where you find words. If it is otherwise than in words, it is implied. And now go back to section 3. Has the effect of communicating the conduct. So this is how communication is treated, is understood in terms of contract law. And all proposals, acceptance and revocation must conform to these norms. In the next lecture, I will deal with section 11, which deals with competent parties. Thank you.